Greetings to all. You are watching Wisdom with Anthony. So today we are going to discuss something very serious, something very urgent which requires the urgent attention to be discussed. Actually, today we are going to speak about the problem which has been faced by many for a long time, and still some of us are the victim of that. And I'm gonna ask you certain things at the end of the video. So please, this video, I request you to watch it completely, and by the end of the video, I will be asking you something that will be really helpful to you. And I want your kind attention here to my words today. Because something that today I have brought, I was a sufferer of this. I used to think this sentence all the time. Why I am not able to speak English? This was a problem of mine that I used to tell myself. I used to remind it myself that why I was not able to speak English, why I can't speak English. And actually that was the most drastic part of my life. I must tell you that when I used to think that I was not able to converse, sometimes I used to speak 2 or 3 sentences good, but other times I used to get stuck. Sometimes I would fall into the conversation enthusiastically, but as the conversation grew, I found myself that I was not up to the level, or I fumble, I do mistakes, I do lots of fillers. So today, maybe I'm talking to somebody who is listening to me very carefully. We are going to solve this problem, the problem of mine, how I solved it. I think to share it with you, that how it can be helpful to you. Sometimes you also think that you are not able to speak English, and that thinking is, to some extent, I must tell you, where your level is, it is not wrong also. Yes, it is not wrong, because you are not able to speak. That's why you are saying you are not able to speak. Sometimes very common sentences, no, I can't speak English. But have you ever thought that in spite of having the knowledge of lots of words and having good vocabulary range, still does not facilitate them or to help them to speak English perfectly and confidently or even fluently? The answer is no. You know why? Sometimes we have lots of words, and you are watching my video. If I ask you, there are many words that you know, you will be surprised to know that more than 1,000 words you have in your vocabulary bank here. More than thousands, I must tell you. Maybe some of you are watching this video and you know lakhs of words, but still you say, sir, I'm not able to speak. The reason behind that, I know the words, but I do not know how to put them words. So in the sequence, in order to make a complete sense, in order to make the sense of the conversation, so that I should be understood and I am able to understand. And sometimes I understand it well, but I am not able to express myself. There are various reasons behind. So I am telling you that you know lots of words. You have a good vocabulary range, but still you are not able to hit, or you are not able to hit the target, or you are not able to make that happen. The reason is why. The thing is that so far we are focusing on the words, but we have not opened our mouth. This was the biggest reason why I can't speak English. If I take you years back, you won't believe that I kept learning English for more than 6 to 7 years. Believe me, it is a reality, I'm telling you. I started speaking English soon after 3 months, but it took me a long time to get into the fluency. To speak fluent English, that was still a dream for me when I just started speaking, because I used to translate. Obviously, I have written that. I'll be just moving to that further, right? But now I am getting excited to share, and I can recall that time when I used to think the same, that why I can't speak English. Why I was not able to. That was the biggest question used to sometimes surround inside my brain. Lot of time I was over with the question. I was surrounded by such questions that why I can't speak English. The thing was that I have lots of words. Lots of words means that enough words I had that I could use to speak English, or I could use those words to make a complete conversation or impactful conversation. But the thing was that I was not able to put them in the proper order. The thing was that I was not able to make the structure. The thing was that I was not having the proper knowledge of my subject. The thing was that I was not having the basic knowledge of the subject. The thing was that I was not at least up to that level that I could express myself even with broken English or what. I used to take a lot of time because I had words, but I was not able to understand that how to put them into order. Order means what? In the structure, to form it, a conversation or a speech. I came to know that I have lots of words. My teacher reminded me, you have lots of words. I understood that very fact. Then I started using those, inch by inch. Slowly and gradually I started using those words. And when I used to use those words, believe me, I used to make lots of mistakes. That was the thing I never stopped. The thing is that when sometimes we speak English and sometimes we use wrong English or incorrect, people are there, they will just try to correct you then and there only, but nobody will be ready to teach you. Nobody will be there to motivate you. They will tell you, sir, you are here wrong. Ma'am, you are here wrong. Even your peers, your friends or somebody, they are very prompt to just point you out where you were wrong. But they are not going to appreciate it. The thing is that sometimes we step back in learning process. Then we don't want to go further because we were stopped and we were hindered by somebody, and now we are not going to take a step ahead. And then we stop our journey there. And it is the thing that we are not supposed to do. Slowly and gradually you will get the result. That is 101%. You know how buildings are formed or constructed? If I tell you, if they're not going to keep a single brick over brick, this building is impossible to be constructed. The reason behind, they are coming brick by brick by brick, and thus a wall is constructed, and later on it is a beautiful building. So wherever you live, wherever you go, I hope that you are getting what I mean to say. Slowly and gradually, we need to put them into practice. And if you have lots of words, now you need to collect the basic knowledge. Sir, how to make sentences? That you can go to any tutor, you can have yourself practice. There are many courses offline on that. You have to find out your own compatibility and your convenience, that how you can get the things done in your own way, in a comfortable way. Some people are there, those who are not able to afford coaching classes. My dear, you need not to do anything. You just find a simple tutor, right? Or if you're not able to, no problem, because there should be somebody. I personally believe that, I emphasize on that we need to have a mentor, because the people without mentor, they suffer a lot. Because there should be somebody to teach us. You cannot say, okay, you will learn your own. No. Somehow, some extent, we need somebody to teach us, and that is the reality. Because under the guidance, we can only become proficient of something, or some language, or anything it can be, right? So, collect basic knowledge, how to put your words, what you know, into the conversation, and start exploring the conversation. Because unless you start exploring the conversation, unless you open your mouth, you cannot say that I want to learn fluent English. Why I'm not able to speak? Because you're not speaking. So my next point is that speak. You need to speak more. Simultaneously, I'm telling you the cause and the result, and then reformatory actions, or how we can improve that. I'm not opening my mouth. I'm just planning about the result. I'm thinking about the result. I'm not thinking why I'm not able to. I'm just worried about the result. I want to speak fluent English. I want to speak fluent English. Okay, everybody knows that you want to speak English. You want to have a good conversation command. You have a good language command. But what are you doing for that? Are you opening your mouth? We are not worried about the result, but where the efforts? Efforts we need to put, no? Everybody wants to speak fluent English, but how many are ready to practice? It is like same. Sorry to say, everybody wants to go heaven, but nobody wants to die. It is not possible. You need to open your mouth. The more you speak, the more you learn. And to speak more, you need to listen more. Now, I'm going to come on that point only. In order to speak English, you need to listen to the particular language more and more, because slowly and gradually you will develop yourself. You will develop a communication skill which will help you to become fluent later on. May not be in one day, may not be in 1 week, may not be in 1 month, may not be in 2 months, but believe me, you will find a drastic change after being disciplined, because where their motivation doesn't work, where discipline works, and motivation has its own impact and effect obviously, and discipline has its own, but I always prefer discipline more than motivation, because motivation somewhere, one day you are here, second day you are here, so you need to be disciplined. Whether you see, just when you have targets in the mind, no, you want to hit the target, you won't be becoming wayward, right? You will be just sticking, and you will be adhere to the target that you have set, your goals and objectives that you have set. You will just try to work upon them, because your target is just to speak English fluently, which is going to open many doors for you in terms of your promotion, in terms of your jobs, in terms of your personality, your status. Many things are there. I don't know the reason behind. It can be a challenge for you. Somebody must have given you a challenge that learn English within so and so times. It can be a challenge for you if you are watching this video. So you are here at the right platform, because now so far the inferiority that you have been facing just because not able to speak English, today we are going to solve the problem. But you need to pay your ears to me. You need to pay attention to me, because you need to follow up the patterns and the methods that I am going to tell you here, or we are already discussing. No, you need to follow up the, not only listening is not enough. Okay, you are doing the listening portion, that you are listening something in English, that is okay, better. So next time whenever you want to use these sentences, you can use those easily. But what about your own self-practice? Because self-practice is the most important thing in order to become fluent, right? Next I have, are you doing the translation? Because the translation used to be the most important thing for me. What I used to think that was important, but that was the worst part of my speaking, you know. You can't speak a language when your brain is thinking in another language. No, it will not work for you. My dear, you need to understand, when you, suppose, I want to open this, right? No, it will be opened. But if I want to open this and I am just pushing it this way, it will not be opened. Doesn't matter that how much force I put, because my method is wrong. My brain, if I force my brain to think in other language and I force my tongue to speak other language, it is not possible, my dear. And the thing is that we have shuffled, we have no like broken pieces of a language. Okay, this is grammar, this is structure, this is vocabulary, this is speaking, this is listening. No. It's like, it's a full body, right? We need to understand this very fact, that translation is not going to, has a translation helped you out so far? If the answer is no, please stop it today itself. Because the moment, the hour I decided to stop translating, believe me, it was hard, difficult for me to leave translation, because I was fumbling a lot. I used to cry, believe me. But at the end of the day, when I understood the very fact that translation was the only thing which was actually stopping me to be fluent in English, I left then and there only. That moment was the last time when I understood. One of my best friends, he told me that the problem is that we are translating. Our brain is working in another language, and forcefully we are forcing our tongue to work in opposite directions. And when both work in opposite direction, you believe me, what happens? Breaking. Right? It is not like, something is not complete. We are like, diverting. And when diversion takes place, it cannot be united. We need to make our tongue and brain united in order to speak. Believe me, now I'm speaking to which language? Obviously in English. And my brain can work in Hindi? No. Because if my brain works in Hindi or in other language, right? Or my first language, whatever your first language, I do not know. It can be any language if you are watching me from the different parts of. Like I belong to North India, so that is my first language. English I'm teaching is a second language. So I mean to say that if your brain works in your first language and your tongue forcefully is being forced to work in another language, it will not work for you until and unless you leave the translation. But if you leave translation, believe me, it will be difficult for you for maybe for 2, 3, 4, 5 days. But when you train your brain, when you visualize, when you imagine, when you think in English, so brain will start giving you pictures, images, words, structures. Having a little knowledge of that, you can easily express yourself. Believe me, it works. For the thing that I was behind for years, it took me 4 to 5 years, then still I was not getting the answer that why I was not able to speak fluent English. The thing was that I was practicing every day, believe me, but I used to translate a lot. I used to translate every single sentence that I was about to say. Some sentences I just crammed. Cramming is not the way that if you think that you cram everything and that will work for you, it is not. 101% you are not going to learn. Believe me, when you understand that translation is something that is a hindrance between your way to achieve something, to achieve that set targets, fluency obviously I'm talking about. So remove it, my dear. Believe me, unless and until you remove this, our fluency will remain a dream for us. We are not able to speak. We need to make our brain and tongue compatible in order to work in same direction. I urge you, I request you, please stop translation today itself. When you stop translating the sentences, because you just think and imagine what sir is trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, when you translate, it obviously has an adverse effect, and when the things are going in the opposite direction, how can they meet? It is not possible. They cannot meet. Then I have, okay, we know words, we have basic knowledge also. Then, okay, we are not translating, sir, at initial stages. Okay, then what happens, sir? Still we are not able to. Lack of confidence. Now, what is lack of confidence? There are various reasons behind that why I am not confident, sir. Maybe it's a lack of practice, I must tell you, because the practice was the another point, but still I want to merge between. All these things are interconnected, so I cannot just make it single by single. So, practice can be the reason behind. If you have practiced well, you can do anything. If you have practiced enough how to drive a car, if I give you a car, you can easily drive it. So that is not the thing that you do not know, but you need to understand that the practice portion is missing somewhere. That's why I'm lacking. I'm telling you, I used to practice a lot, I used to translate a lot, but still sometimes when I thought that I would not translate, still then I would get trapped by what? Lack of confidence. My inner would ask me, you are not now translating, are you able to converse well? Then I used to think, when you think, or when you tend to be in that habit, so obviously and automatically the negativity catches the negativity. When you are looking at the negative side, automatically the negative side will come to you. When you are looking at the positive side, okay, I'm not going to translate, whether I will take time, I will speak slow rather, but excuse me, what will happen in that case? I'm going to improve. I am going to improve, believe me. It is a reality, I'm telling you. When you understand this very fact and you apply this, it takes time. Believe me, it will not happen in 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, even it can take a month. But once you practice, but usually I say that 21 days continuously, if you practice this, there 40% battle is won. Yes. The thing is that why we are not fluent, because first of all we are not speaking, then we have lack of confidence, then we have lack of knowledge, then the biggest problem that we are translating, right? Then basic knowledge we have discussed, practice we have discussed. So all in all, these are the points. Now I'm going to tell you some bullet points how you can reform yourself. The problem is this. So let us talk about the solution now. Though I have given you some solution in between that, and while just joining those problems, connecting those problems with the solution. Now again, I would like to let you know a little or a brief explanation that how I improved, what I actually know. I never stopped speaking. Whether I was I was being mocked at, people used to laugh at me, no problem, let them laugh. I'm not making them cry. Obviously, I used to think that that was a good task that I was doing. I'm giving them a job to laugh. So they laughed and I was happy because they were laughing. I was not the cause that they were crying because of me. So no, that was no way. I was happy that they were laughing. Secondly, without listening to anyone, negative sides or hypocrites, I kept walking on my way because I knew that something that I want to learn, my life has been given to me by God only once and I am going to make it happen. That is the thing. When you just you perceive all this, when you consider all these facts, you start your body stimulates, like coffee stimulates the body, so you get something, inner energy, which keeps you moving forward to achieve that. So never stop speaking. Keep speaking every single day. In case if you have somebody, well and good. If you don't have, your best friend is going to be your mirror, because my mirror, I used to speak a lot to my mirror, and it gave me actually much difference from here till there. Because again, I'm telling you, it's not a first language that I have learned, second language, and people are there, those who learn 4, 5, 6 languages and more than that even. Then I have stopped fearing. No need to have fear of anything, whether it is confidence, lack of confidence obviously, whether it is of people, whether it is of being judged. See, what do you think that can you tell me any field where there is no challenge? Even you can see you are sitting idly, that is also a challenge. So what is the challenge in that? You will have to listen a lot from the family, from the friends, wherever you are, if you are sitting idly. Because the more you sit and think about this, till then you cannot achieve. Get up and just start practicing. Put that into practice and just get the result. The result is in just within your reach, but the thing is that you are not ready to. So first, an important thing, foremost and important thing, just to admit that I want to learn and then start. To begin something is the most important thing in order to achieve that. Then practice every single day, right? Make a practice your habit. Please. See, I am telling how many videos you watch, how many times I have asked you, how many things are happening around. Unless and until you practice, nothing will work for you. Mark my words, nothing will work for you until and unless you practice. Immerse yourself in the language, and believe me, it will surely make you from here to there. Practice every single day without skipping one. Obviously, translation we are gonna leave today, because something that I discussed, I took it from my own life. These were the points where I was lacking. And sometimes, believe me, I have seen my students, they speak good English, but sometimes when they get into conversation, when they fall into conversation, so they become oblivious. Oblivious means they tend to forget the words, so why it happens? Because of lack of confidence, and rather they try to speak very fast. So in that case, if you want to have confidence, believe me, you should go little slower in the conversation at the beginning level. Afterwards, up to you. Once you are comfortable, as I told you earlier also, if you are riding or driving, if you are comfortable, you can ride or drive more than 100 also, though it is not good according to the parameters, set parameters. These are good we should be abide by the rules and regulations of traffic, right? So I'm telling you, I'm giving you just example. If you are convenient to ride over 100 when the roads are there, but at the initial level you cannot, right? No, it is not good even. So I must suggest you to go slowly in the conversation, speak slowly, have words in your brain, visualize, imagine, but don't translate, because translation, one day sooner or later you need to leave this translation. Because you can ask anyone, those who are good speaker of the language, if they translate, they are not able to say a single sentence. Because when I came to know this very fact, believe me, I found a drastic change in my English, and that was the reality. So I do not want you to repeat the same errors and the mistakes that you have been sticking so far for a long time. We are going to eradicate, because we are going to get the things done in our own way, because our target this year, we will make it happen. We are going to grab that job. We are going to grab that interview. We are going to grab that seat, which is just I am not able to get because of my lack of communication skills, because of my English, but this year I'm going to make it happen, and it will happen, believe me, because you can speak fluent English. Now I'm going to turn this sentence into positive one. This sentence I have written in negative. Can you see? I can't speak English. Now I want you to say this to yourself. I can speak English fluently. And believe me, you can. Please. See, when I say you please, because I have a pain in my heart that still, how many times I am telling you, I don't know how many of you are practicing, but those who are listening to me and they are practicing, believe me, you are going to find a drastic change within your personality and your communication and speaking skills, because you are following up the patterns and the methods and the step by step. You are doing that. So I hope that you must have liked the video. If you are watching it for the very first time, do hit the like button. Do subscribe the channel if you are at this platform very first time. And obviously, I must ask you to share it with those who are in need of learning English and those who want to speak English fluently. Obviously, we'll be meeting you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.